guys, and welcome back. It's the Geek here. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add low end to dubstep bass lines without using a sub oscillator. So if you're not familiar with dubstep production, typically when you're creating a bass line, you'll have multiple layers. And the upper layer is typically a mid-range synthesizer or multiple synthesizers that sort of give it that gritty, distorted bite. And then below that, you'll have playing the same notes, usually a pure sine wave sub oscillator. And together, they create a very weighty, heavy bass sound that has a lot of bite and is very aggressive, but also has that low end weight so that it really works on the dance floor. Okay, guys, so now that we understand exactly what is going on in a typical dubstep bass, what we want to do is talk about an alternative way to do it, and I'm going to show you how to do it using a plugin called LoAir. And essentially, it's going to take the place of the synthesizer that would be playing the pure sine wave underneath that mid-range gritty synth. So I'm just going to play a couple bits and pieces of this track, this remix that I've done, and show you the technique in action. I'm going to solo the track, one of the tracks that I've used this technique with, so you can hear it without LoAir and then with. So here's without, and then here's the LoAir portion, and then here's the two together. And it's a relatively subtle difference if you're listening at home or you're not on a big club system. But when played out, that low rumbling bass is really going to have a big impact on how these sort of dubstep stabs have in this track as accent points. So let's talk a little bit about how it's actually done now that you can hear it. And by the way, if you didn't hear anything when I was playing the LoAir portion, you need to have a quality pair of studio monitors or a pair of headphones to be able to hear this. If you're just listening on your laptop speakers, you're not going to be able to hear. So, okay, so let me show you how I did it. And you'll notice here that this is an actual audio file that is the LoAir bit. That's just because I resampled it because I was running out of CPU on this particular track. Obviously, there's no need to do that for you guys. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to create a new track, and you're going to, this is basically just going to be an input for our original sample, in this case horn. And I'm going to set this to post FX, and the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm going to want to solo this new track and listen to the LoAir plugin all on its own. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and solo this and arm it, and then I'm going to drag in my LoAir plugin. And this plugin is from a company called Waves. I'm sure you've heard of their other plugins. So the controls are relatively straightforward. In this particular plugin, this control direct is how much of the dry signal we're going to hear. Since we have two channels, each kind of running independently, I actually want the direct all the way down so that this channel, this new channel, 23 audio, let me go ahead and just rename it LoAir. All right, so this channel is only the LoAir side, and then this channel is our original signal. And part of the reason that I've separated these out rather than just throwing the LoAir plugin on the original channel is because I want to have independent control, especially because this original channel is feeding into reverb and delay return channels. So by keeping the two separate, I can feed mid-range and high frequency signals into those returns and not overwhelm them with bass and sort of muddy up the signal. So I've got this all set up. Let's actually have a listen to see how it sounds. So that's pretty close. I'm just going to turn this up a little. And that's really it. So you just play with these particular knobs here till you get a sound that you like. These controls, I don't know what the technical effect of them is. LoAir is sort of the lowest of the low, rumbly stuff, and low is sort of the more mid-rangey sounds. And then range just sort of tells you how wide of a frequency range it's going to be playing in and where it's going to be mostly targeted. So what you want to do is just play around until you get something that you're happy with. So here's the two together. And that's really it. It's a very simple technique. It doesn't take a lot of time to make work. And it's a great way to add some low-end bass response to samples that you may have that don't have quite the oomph that you want. And it's quick and easy to do. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. And if you want to download this particular track, you can do so at geekyourfaceoff.com and click on the little download arrow on the top right of the website. All right, guys, thanks a bunch.
I can't describe the feeling. It's drawing me in now, it's drawing